We are gonna start out this mac and cheese with a very fun surprise by topping it with my herby golden breadcrumbs. Now this is a recipe that is in my cookbook currently in the Flavor Bible, and it's just all about fun sauces and things that you can add to recipes to really give them a boost of flavor. So there it is, we're gonna make it. It has sage, rosemary, and thyme in there, and it is absolutely delicious. So let's get started and make that. We're gonna start off by placing a small pan over medium heat. And then we're gonna add in some butter, just 2 tablespoons for the herby golden breadcrumbs. Nice. I love to use salted butter. We're gonna have this melt, and then we're gonna add in our sage and rosemary. I love the smell of rosemary, but I don't always love it in recipes. Fun fact about me. Like too much rosemary, not a good thing. All right, the butter is starting to melt, so I'm gonna add in that rosemary. I'm gonna fry this up for a few minutes until it's nice and crispy. It's gonna smell intoxicating. This is just a really fun way to switch up your mac and cheese to make it feel a little bit more elevated, especially during the holiday season. You want something that just feels special, and this is one way to make it feel special. Also, who doesn't love breadcrumbs on top of their mac and cheese? The mac and cheese is all creamy, and then you get this nice crunchy golden topping, fresh herbs, tons of flavor. Love it. The butter's starting to brown there. Uh-oh. Now it is time to add in the panko breadcrumbs. This is what's gonna make it nice and crispy. So add those in there and start stirring those up. They are gonna turn a nice golden color after a few minutes. And my butter has browned a little bit, which I really appreciate because that just adds even more flavor. I'm all about that life. Stir that up really good. You need to watch carefully. You don't want it to burn. Probably could have done this on a bigger pan, but that's showbiz, baby. Now you only want to stir occasionally at this point because you want the breadcrumbs to have a chance to really get nice and golden brown at the bottom of the pan. So every minute or so, you can stir. Oh, and it's happening. See that? Look at that. So gorgeous. Now, if you haven't already started boiling your water, I want you to get that started. Bring a large pot of water, salted water, because we always want to salt our pasta water, over high heat and get that going. And then these look pretty good, nice and golden. So I am going to stir in my thyme, remove it from the heat, add that thyme in. I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder to really season those up and make them super delicious. And then we're gonna add in some salt. And then you can just set this aside, add it to a bowl, set it aside for later. This will stay good at room temperature in an airtight container for about a week, and you can put it on everything from pastas to, I don't really know what, it's just delicious. Just eat it straight out of the jar. What the f, that smells so good. We're ready to start our mac and cheese. I have a large brazier. I'm gonna bring this over a medium heat. I'm gonna start to make my slurry, which is a cheese sauce. Brings everything together. So we are gonna start off with some butter. While the butter melts, I'm gonna add the pasta to the water. Give that a stir. Perfect. We're gonna add in some flour and start to stir that in until it makes a nice paste. You really wanna combine it with the butter and do this pretty quickly. And again, this is over a medium heat. This is also the same way you start gravy, fun fact. All right, now we've got some milk and I'm gonna slowly pour that in, ooh, as I'm whisking at the same time. I like to keep a little bit of extra milk on hand just because sometimes my cheese sauce needs to be thinned out. It really depends on how you like your mac and cheese. Some people like it a little bit more saucy, some people like it a little bit more thick. So really up to you, but I'll show you how we can make it a little more saucy in a bit. Then we've got some garlic powder and some onion powder. And you're gonna whisk that in. And you'll notice that this will start to thicken pretty quickly. So I'm gonna reduce this to low heat because it's thickened really nicely. It's kind of coating the back of my whisk. You can see that. And we're gonna add in some cheese. Hurry. So I've got a blend of cheeses. I am using a cheddar cheese. You could use it medium or a sharp cheddar. And then some, Abra, how do you say it? Gruyere, Gruyere, Gruyere. She knows I always f it up. I'm like, how do you? I'm like Greg, Greggy. All right, you're gonna stir that till it's nice and melted. Look at that. I want this to be a little bit more saucy. It's looking thick, especially when we add the pasta. The pasta is really gonna coat all of this cheese sauce. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more milk, and that's how you smooth it out. Now I've made this with whole milk. I've made this with 2%. I don't recommend a skim milk. You could also make it with an unsweetened almond milk if you want to, for some reason, do dairy-free. Sometimes I do that just because that's what I have in my fridge, but I do find that using an unsweetened cashew milk is the best bet because it's the most neutral in flavor. Look at this, it's so silky smooth and creamy. I'm gonna give this a taste and see if I need to add any salt or pepper or adjust the seasonings. That's really good. With mac and cheese, you'd be surprised. You actually need a decent amount of salt. Even though the cheese does have salt in it, just once the noodles get in there, salt really does bring out the flavor of the cheese. And then of course, black pepper. Lots of it. I could eat that cheese sauce alone.
Do it.
I could eat it alone, it's so good. Okay, I think our pasta's good to go, so we are gonna drain this and then add it to the pot. We're going. Here we go, we're adding the pasta to the cheese sauce. Then just start to fold this all together. So as you can see, the noodles have soaked up every little bit of cheese sauce and it's still nice and saucy. Now at this point, if it isn't as saucy as you'd like, you could add a splash or two of milk. You could absolutely serve this as is. Scoop it up, give it to your kids, make it for yourself for a weeknight meal, whatever you want. Or what I like to do is grab a little more cheese, take this out. Now, if you want to get adventurous, I really love putting a habanero cheddar on top of this. It is fire and just like the spice of it is phenomenal, but I'm not doing that today because I'm probably going to give it to my kids. I just feel like this extra layer of cheese on top really takes it to the next level. And it only takes about 2 minutes to finish off. We're going to stick it under the broiler. La, 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 la. Okay, let's just use all of it. This is so good. Also, the perfect, easy Thanksgiving side dish or main, vegetarian main. All right, we're gonna stick this under the broiler for 2 minutes. I want you to watch really carefully as you do this because you do not want to burn the cheese. Bye. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. Look at this. Little crispy cheese action on top. Let's add these delicious toasty herby breadcrumbs. I'm gonna add them right on top as it comes out. Guys, I cannot wait to dig into this. This is how you elevate it. This is how you make it a beautiful Thanksgiving or Christmas side dish or even main. Wow, I can't stop saying wow, I'm so excited. Add as much or as little as you'd like. There we go, it's time to dig in. All right, everybody, I'm digging in. I'm getting ready for it. It is truly sensational. Wow, you guys have to make this recipe. If not for a Thanksgiving side dish, plan it for a weeknight dinner because it is truly out of this world. Also, you can make it a little bit more nutritious by adding something like shredded zucchini or your favorite roasted vegetables folded in. But either way, I know that this is gonna put you in a good mood.